In this video, you are going to learn how to create the dreamy wedding effect in Photoshop. Coming up. Hi everyone, I am Harshvardhan and welcome to another superb episode. In today's video, you are going to learn how you can easily turn your wedding images into dreamy and magical in Photoshop. In order to create the dreamy magical wedding effect, you need to have my Photoshop action, which you can download from the link in the description section below. This Photoshop action pack includes the 8 actions, and combining all of these 8 actions, you can easily spice up your wedding images and give them dreamy and magical effect. And these are one-click Photoshop actions. These save you a lot more time, and I'm sure you are going to love this action. So go ahead and download this action. I have kept the price of this Photoshop action very reasonable so that everyone can afford it. So go ahead and download it. If you have not followed me on Instagram, please do follow me on Instagram. You can find me by the name of Pack-HarshVardhanArt, and on Instagram I do post my latest work plus lots of tips and tricks on photography and photo editing. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing, because here you will find lots of exciting tutorials on photography, photo editing, video editing, and lots of Instagram tips and tricks. And to subscribe, just click the big red button below this video, and don't forget to click the bell icon as well. As according to the latest algorithm of the YouTube, if you don't press the bell icon, you will not get the notification of my latest videos. So don't miss my videos, press the bell icon. And having said that, let's get started. So the moment you download the Photoshop action, which is called the Dreamy Wedding Photoshop Action Pack, Pack-HarshVardhanArt.com. So after that, you need to go to the actions panel, which is over here. If it is not visible over here, go to the Windows and select the actions, and that way it would be visible over here. And thereafter, you need to go to this hamburger menu, click on this and select the load actions option, which is over here. And thereafter, you need to browse the folder where you have downloaded this Dreamy Wedding Photoshop action, and you will see a file which is like this ATN file. If you don't somehow see this ATN file, just click on these options, more options. So maybe you will see this kind of a file. Just click on this and select the load, and that way it would be visible over here. And it has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 actions included in this pack. So we will work on these actions and we'll apply these actions first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. All right, so we can apply these actions this way. If you are in a button mode, then suppose if you are in a button mode, you can see, then in that case you won't be able to see this actions properly, because some actions would go here and some would go over there. So what we can do, you need to go to the button mode on the top of it and just uncheck it, and you will see this kind of a option. And you need to go to this default list view in order to install or load any action. All right, so now we will apply the first action, which is over here, deep cyan look. So for this purpose, we'll select this action and select this play button, and it's going to show us a message that please select don't flatten and press continue. So thereafter, after this, you will get one more message where you need to select the don't flatten, and thereafter you need to press continue. So I'll press continue, and now you will see this message has been popped up, and here you need to select the don't flatten. All right, and thereafter this action would play and it would make the image something like this. And with this, you will see over here we have one more folder, so we need to turn this on, and that's going to make the image way darker. And now we can just turn all of these off and turn them one by one. So first one is of the dark background. It makes the dark background, or make the background dark as the name suggests. So we will select the brush tool and select the mask tool from here and go to the soft edge brush with 20% opacity, something like that, and then we will paint. If you are using the pen tablet, then you can use the pen pressure option in the brush setting, and by coming over here on the transfer panel and on the pen pressure. That way, if you will paint lightly, you will get the light stroke, but if you paint with little bit more pressure, you will get the dark paint. All right, so let me just paint over it. So let me remove it from the couples so that the entire focus remains over there, and a little bit from here as well. And now you can see by this turning this on and off, it has made the image more darker and removed it from the couples. And thereafter turn the second layer on, which is of boost colors and tone. This is automatically going to boost the colors and tones, and this is a very slight effect, you may not be able to notice it, but it does the work. And thereafter we will have the third layer on, so we'll click on this eye icon, and you can see that makes the image even more darker. It boosts the colors and the contrast. And over here at this time, its opacity is 20%. If you want the more effect, you can increase its opacity and get the desired result you want. So maybe something like this. I think I'll go for something like this, and thereafter we will close this folder. So you can see until now our progress from this image to this. All right, so thereafter we'll move to the second action. So we'll go to the actions panel, and this time we will select the spin zoom effect. So we'll click on this and come over here on the bottom and select the play button, and that's going to play and create this spin blur around the image. But here we need to refine it at this moment. So we'll select the mask first, which is already selected. So we need to choose the brush tool and paint over on the model or the couple so that it doesn't make them spin. And then at this moment you might feel that this effect is too much. So what you can do, you can lower down its opacity to something like this, so that we get a little bit blur or spin, but not that much, and remove it from this basket as well. And thereafter we will move to the next Photoshop action, and that is the light leaks. So first we have the light leaks white, so we are going to create a white light leaks, and again we'll click on the play button, and then it is going to pop up a message that choose the position of the light leak with the move tool. So thereafter you need to press continue and choose the move tool and click and drag this position of this light. So you can just drag it anywhere you want. So maybe I want the soft light, so I'll place it top of it around here, and thereafter I'll press OK, and boom, you can see now we have got some light on the top. And if you want, you can lower down its opacity as well. So let me go for something like this, because I don't want that bright light on the top of it. Okay, and thereafter we will move to the next action, and that is the second light leak, which is the warm light leak. So again we have to click on the play action button, and then it's going to choose the direction of the light. Again we have to press continue, and with the move tool we will select its direction. So we want the light maybe over here, so we'll place it around here, and we will press OK, and boom, you can see we have got one more light. And similarly, if you want, you can lower down its opacity as well. Okay, but I'll not go for this one. Let me close the folder. And there is one more tip, that before you apply this Photoshop action, you need to close this folder before you apply the light leak. Otherwise the light leak would be created inside this folder itself, which would give you the same effect which you have got with the first light. So you will have the same opacity. So if you just turn this off, and thereafter if you'll create a light leak, so let me show you once again. Press continue, choose the position of the light, maybe over here on the top, press continue, and boom, you can see now we have got very high effect, and then we can lower down its opacity to anything we want, something like this. Okay, and this was the result of this light. Okay, so you can go for anything you want, maybe something like this. I'll go for something like this. Thereafter I'll close these folders, and let's move on to the next action, and that is of the particles. So now we are going to create particles. So we'll click on this action and select the play button. It's going to take some time and play the action and create some particles. At this moment you might not be able to see the particles clearly because these are very tiny. So now we need to make them more visible. So we will open up this folder which is over here and select the particles first, and thereafter we'll press Ctrl L, Command L, and that's going to open up the levels command which is over here. And we need to click on the middle mid-tone slider and drag it to the left side towards the light, and the more we will drag it, you can see we get lots of particles this way. But I will go something like this, not too much, and then press OK. Similarly, we'll select the second particle, press Ctrl L, Command L, and then drag the mid-tone sliders again to the left side, and with this help we will get the larger particles. You can see the large one, and then we'll press OK, and you can see by the turning them off and on. So this is the large particles and this adds the smaller particles, and now we will apply some motion blur on these. So we'll select the first one and go to the filter and choose blur, and we will choose the motion blur, and we'll choose the some kind of this angle. You can choose the angle from here, anything. So just click on this wheel and just select the angle you want, maybe something like this. It's just fine. And distance, you can choose any distance you want. The more distance would make it very sharp, would make it look like rain, but I don't want that. I want it to look like snow. So I'll go for less distance, maybe around 4 or 8, and then I'll press OK. Similarly, I'll go for the second particles and spin them even further similarly. So we'll go to the filter and select the motion blur, and it is going to apply the same blur setting which we have lastly applied. So now you can see by turning this particle folder on and off that it has added lots of dreamy effect and lots of interest in the image. And then we will move on to the next Photoshop action in this pack, and then that is the dosing and burning. So we'll select the dose and burn and select the play button, and it's going to take time and going to make the layer black and white, and it's going to pop up a message that start painting with 10% opacity with white color on dose and burn layers. Once done, press play button again. So stop, and now what we need to do, we need to come to the first, the dose would automatically select, and brush, it would automatically select the brush for us, and that is going to be the soft edge brush with 100% opacity or 10% opacity. But in this case I'm using the pen tablet, so I don't need that. So I'm going to zoom in, and this time I'll make the size of the brush smaller with the left bracket, and I'm going to paint. Oops, I think I need to change the settings in my transfer option. Okay, make it pen pressure. All right, and then I'm going to paint over here. And by the way, if you are considering buying a pen tablet, I have included some link in the description section below which are recommended from the Wacom. This is the best Wacom tablet. I have included 2-3, so you can go for anything according to your budget. And I'm just painting randomly wherever you see the highlights. Okay, so you can spend more time on this. And if you want to see the result, turn off the black and white layer if you are not comfortable with it, and you can see that way we can add more interest or depth to the image. And then select the burn layer, and this time we need to paint on the darker area. So wherever you see some light, darkness or shadows, just paint over that. Maybe on the dress, on the face of the boy, on the hand, and on her dress over here. Because this is blown out, so the moment we'll paint it, it's going to bring in or bring back some details. You can paint a little bit with smaller strokes, and that's going to create some crease, so that would look even better. And on the hairs of the boy, on her hand. Okay, and you can see by turning this on and off that we have successfully dosed and burned this image, so that would create some extra depth on the face of these. And now we'll straighten this image. So for this purpose, we will create a stamp copy by pressing Ctrl Alt Shift E or Command Option Shift E, and you can see the horizon is not straight, which doesn't look good. So we'll select the crop tool by pressing C on our keyboard, and we'll go to this straighten tool, which is over here. So we'll select the straight tool, and now click and drag it this way and press enter. And now we have got the straight ground. All right, and now let's move on to the next action, which is of the professional sharpening. So we'll select the professional sharpening and press the play button, and it's going to open up the option to choose the radius. So here by default 1.1 is selected, so you can either go for this one, but if you want more sharpening, just go for 1.5, but not more than that. But in this case I'll go for 1.2 and I will press OK. And then I need to zoom in and I need to apply this Photoshop or this sharpening wherever I want. So I'll select the brush tool, and with the white color I'm going to paint on the area where I want the sharpening to be applied. So on the face, eyes, lips, but not on the skin. This image is very small, so that's why you are seeing this pixelated image, and I have zoomed in too much. But if you press Ctrl 1, it's going to zoom in 100%, and that way you can see the real result. Okay, and let's paint on the dress, make that sharp as well. Dress of the boy or the coat of the boy. Okay, and you can see by this turning this on and off whether it has applied the sharpening or not by zooming in. All right, and there is last Photoshop action which you want to use. You can use it. It's basically going to add some grains to the image. So I'll select this and I'll show you what it does. So if you just press the play button, it's going to open up the dialog box, and it's going to ask you to select the amount of the noise which you want, and you can see that it has made the image too grainy. So I'll drop that to something like this, maybe around 1 or 1.5, and press OK. So basically it's going to add some grains to the image, so it would give you some extra sharpening with the help of these grains. And this is our final result. You can see, let me select all these layers, press Ctrl G to group them together and show you the final result. So this is our final Dreamy Wedding Effect in Photoshop using my Dreamy Wedding Photoshop Action Pack, and you can download this Photoshop Action from the link in the description section below. This is very affordable. I have kept the price very affordable so that everyone can have the access to it. So please go ahead, download it and support this channel. And if you have any question or if you want to say something, you can leave that in the comment section below. So thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you did, hit the like button. If you did not like the video, hit the dislike button. If you have any question or if you want to say something, leave that in the comment section below. And once again, if you have not followed me on Instagram, please do follow me on Instagram. You can find me by the name of HarshVardhanArt, and on Instagram I do post my latest work plus lots of tips and tricks on photography and photo editing. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing, because here you will find lots of exciting tutorials on photography, photo editing, video editing, and lots of Instagram tips and tricks. And to subscribe, just click the big red button below this video, and don't forget to click the bell icon as well, as according to the latest algorithm of the YouTube, if you don't press the bell icon, you will not get the notification of my latest videos. So don't miss my videos, press the bell icon. So thank you so much. Bye bye. See you in the next episode. Till then, keep shooting and unleash the creative in you.